to keep his eye on the ball.
Melbourne leading by 1 goal. O'Dwyer strikes first blood and he gets the ball out of the centre. Here comes Wilson. Off to Jackson. Jackson's left foot kick to the forward line is marked by Williams. By the time the umpire gets up to Gavin Krasiska, I'm sure he'll be about 40 metres out. Yes, back you come. And David Williams, who kicks the ball pretty well for goal usually. He missed a sitter in the 3rd quarter. But this could be a tremendous start for the Demons. Nice looking kick across the face, through for a behind, and Melbourne lead by 7 points.
1 goal, 2 to Williams. Melbourne really getting on top in that centre square. There's David Cloak, the player I was talking about. I'd like to see him in that first ruck.
Kerrison kicks in for Collingwood. Long kick, about 65 metres. And when it finishes bouncing, it's about 80. Down goes Mullane, but Ryan keeps his footing. Bit off the side of the boot with his soccer kick and the ball out of play. But it's up towards the wing already. Christian and O'Dwyer to go for this. The way the teams were announced, it looked like Christian was going to be playing on Lion. We were going to have a bit of fun with Christians and the Lions, but it didn't work out that way. Came down to Mullane and onto the chest of Peter Dacos, who has been absolutely superb. Coming up for his 20th kick, Peter Dacos, to half forward. White, number 27, underneath the ball, leaves White at the back, runs onto it, bobbles it, still a chance, ball out in front, running out of room, and it's out of play for a throw-in.
Helicopter boot there as Gary Lyon went past also. Maybe he was just hoping for a free kick.
Yes, I think the umpire did very well there. He a couple of times Wright stumbled, and the umpire could have easily fallen for the 3-card trick. O'Dwyer and Taylor. Taylor with bulk, and O'Dwyer was up to it. He may have interfered. No, Taylor's interfered with him. Shepherding, according to umpire Sheehan. And O'Dwyer takes the free kick. He kicks it straight across the field. Hughes is in the opposite back pocket. Wright was the chaser. Hughes' kick up towards the wing. Stretch gathers. Oh, good contest by Jamie Turner. Here's a chance for Brown. He's tackled well by Yates. Play on as the umpire. Here come Melbourne. Hand pass wide. Johnson's under pressure. Can he get clear? No, he can't. He's caught with the football and should be penalised. Collingwood a chance. A kick off the ground by Robertson. Just bounces inside the line. And we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward, slightly favouring Collingwood. Just 22 and a half minutes to go, and it is anyone's match.
Christian with a big run at them. Hughes wins a mighty one for Melbourne. Here's Mullane. Back to Shaw. Tony Shaw, about his limit, 40 metres with the kick. Oh, good mark. In front is Brown. And Brown's had a superb day. 5 marks and 21 possessions. Centering kick and the mark taken there by Christian. Crowd calling for a 50-metre penalty. It's not on. Ryan on the run. Up towards Taylor. He backs into Hughes, but he's got support Hughes in O'Dwyer. And he takes the mark.
Gee, they've been good, O'Dwyer and Stones. They've been the difference so far with Melbourne, just with their noses in front. The ball at half forward for Collingwood. Grinter intercepts well. Handball off to Stretch, and Grinter takes it back again. And Melbourne, with systematic football, out of trouble. Up towards half forward. They're a chance here. Spalding gathers well. Round onto the left foot, kicks it into the pocket, and Williams comes out and takes the mark. They've got 3-on-2 in this pocket. Williams sums it up well and kicks it into the pocket. Yates takes the mark.
Clever kick there by Spalding around the corner.
Tremendous play. Yates has got a player in support, and he's well within kicking distance, Wilson. Collingwood defence just a little astray in that 15 or 20 seconds of football. Wilson, a very, very difficult angle. Impressive statistics, capped off with 2 goals. He's a showman from way back, is Brian Wilson. And you can certainly punish the Magpie fans if he kicks a goal. He punts for goal and puts it through.
3 goals to Brian Wilson, and that was a real pressure goal. He's been around a long time, won the Brownlow in 1982. And has spent a fair bit of time up at full forward on occasions. There's that kick from Brian Wilson, split the centre. And Melbourne looking very impressive in this second half. Collingwood need to do something to get back into this match.
Wilson and Stones, Melbourne's leading goal kickers with 3 apiece. Ryan loses control of it, but comes back. Wilson back in the centre after kicking the last goal. It goes to Bailey. Oh, he puts Stretch out in the open. He gets clear. He's got Yates, who set up the last one. Graham Yates bounces to 50. Inside 50 he goes. Not a bad kick. Jackson at the back. It goes through for a behind.
Well, Yates could have nearly kicked that. I think maybe he thought he was a little too far out. Anyway, the Demons lead by 14 points. Countdown now is to 20 minutes left in the match. Terrison's kick finds Turner on the 50-metre line. Collingwood will need to get some sort of momentum up fairly quickly. Turner at half-back. Poor kick, shocking kick. In short, Yates. High ball over the line on the full. And very uncharacteristic there, Graham Yates. He's usually quite good with either foot. And on this occasion, he has erred. The free kick now to go to Collingwood at half-back to be taken by McGuan. A little bit of stop-start football by Collingwood. McGuan's kick towards the wing, and a great one-grabber by Steve O'Dwyer. He gets it off to Johnson. Johnson's kick up towards the front of the square. Punch away. Collingwood defence under pressure. Shane Ward. Handball to Krasiska at half-back. Krasiska, a high ball towards the wing. Sets up White. Robertson. But there's Grinter. Oh, backing up well as Rodney Grinter. What a beautiful kick under pressure finds Johnson. Half forward Alan Johnson. He kicks the ball well. Up towards the 10-metre square. Can the Demons mark? It's at the back. Morwood there to clean it up for Collingwood. Shane Morwood comes clear. He's nearly in, well, he's in first gear. Off to Starcevic. Starcevic in the back pocket. Thumps the ball out towards half-back on the outer side. Tony Shaw. Composed. Left foot kick. In towards the centre. Well, there's 4 Demon players there. A great thump away. Wilson's there to take the ball. He's trying to do too much with it, but he gets the handball away to Lyon. Lyon's high kick into the forward pocket. Collingwood defenders again under pressure. The ball comes clear to Turner. Turner in the back pocket. Beautiful little chip pass. Finds Shaw at centre half-back. Mount something now, Magpies. Dacos, wide. There's a player loose in Hawke. Hawke at half-forward. A player over the top. It's Mullane. Inside 50 metres. Mullane, you must kick a goal. And he does so.
All new Nissan Patrol, the most advanced four-wheel drive down under. It makes all other four-wheel drives seem primitive. With Go Anywhere Patrol's all-new 4-coil suspension, you get the handling and ride comfort of the car. Patrol's powerful 4.2-litre diesel or petrol 6s leave all other four-wheel drives back in a stone age. All new Patrol. Already it's Australia's 4x4 of the year. That's Nissan know-how, building the right vehicles for Australia.
When you've got the goods under the hood, you need rubber on the road. We've got the deals on all the wheels to make that machine go.
For all the top performance tyres and wheels, see Bow Repair's Performance Tyre Centres or your Bow Repair store.
We got the wheels, every tyre that can be found. Bow Repairs are the best down under, making the wheels go round.
Bow Repair's the best down under.
May 1. John Marmaris prepares to leave Australia for an assignment in America.
United Airlines Flight 7. This seat's confirmed all the way through service now.
May 2. Denver. John joins 200 photographers to shoot the book A Day in the Life of America. After the brief, they fly to 200 different destinations across all 50 states on one airline. John leaves for Indianapolis to film the president, while the others leave to record their impressions of America. 200 photographers fly to just on 200 different destinations across America in one day on one airline, United. From Melbourne or Sydney and back home again. When you know America, you'll fly the friendly skies. When you know America, there is only one airline, United.
Monday, on a country practice, Jo panics over her high school exams.
I'm going to fail. Where are my books?
Will she pass and get the mark she needs to go to university?
I'm going to fail the biology section of the paper.
A stranger in town gets friendly with Esme.
You're a very remarkable woman.
Smokey Dawson as Charlie, the man who'll change Esme's life.
Come and sit next to me, please.
Are Esme's days as a spinster over?
Oh, Esme! But there's a problem.
A country practice, 7:30 Monday on 7.
And the Magpies fans starting to find some voice now. Collingwood within 8 points, and we still have 18 minutes or just under remaining in the match. Bounce favours Christian. He taps down, it goes to Dacos. Standing start to centre half forward. Taylor behind Hughes, and Hughes wins the punch. Chance for Hawke to set it up again. He gets clear. The hand pass a little bit astray, but Barwick into Dacos. Dacos away to Banks. Well played, Alan Johnson. Spills out here to Hughes. Nobody there for Melbourne, and taking an easy mark is McGuan at centre half back. Collingwood on the rebound. Wide to Banks. Good punch away by Grinter. McEwen takes it. He's got Banks in support. Now it's Brown. Taylor couldn't quite take it. Well, Taylor into Hughes' back and gives away a free kick. Crowd here at VFL Park today, 61,163.
Danny Hughes now for Melbourne. Kicks it towards the wing. O'Dwyer in front and marks. Good mark to the big fellow. He gets the handball away. Puts Jackson under lots of pressure. Melbourne, they just may have made a mistake here. A vital one on centre wing. Kerrison and O'Dwyer having a dust-up. Play goes on close to the boundary line. Melbourne player in possession is pushed to the ground unfairly, according to umpire Sheehan. And Grinter will take the free kick for Melbourne. It's not Grinter. It looks like it might be Stretch.
A lot of feeling in this. Kerrison and O'Dwyer
trying to undress him.
Well, there it is again. Pushes Kerrison away.
Stretch with the football for Melbourne. Puts them into attack now, up towards half forward. At the back, tremendous roving there by Jackson. Short kick into the pocket, a little bit too high for Williams. It's still in play. Williams has a chance again. Handball off. Jackson, well tackled. Tony Shaw out to Krasiska. Krasiska in the back pocket. Collingwood now to come forward. Turner takes the mark and plays on. He's got a player in support in Brown. Brown on centre wing, chips it into the centre. Good play by Starcevic, who's come up from full-back and takes the mark in the centre. Play on quickly. The Collingwood fans asking their players to get another goal quickly. Mark taken by Banks at half forward. Banks too far out maybe, right on the 50-metre line. Looking anxiously towards the full forward area.
Magpies trail by 8 points. Goes the short pass. Well, White seems to have had things on his own back line today. Did that easily, Sean White. Wide to the wing to Bailey. Brett Bailey, number 24. Open slather in front of him. Let's go the kick pretty quickly. Steins leads. Ball drops short. Christian. Morwood doing the shepherding. Well, good kick by Christian. Hawke unmarked centre wing. Magpies need another goal. McEwen. Gaps opening in Melbourne's defence. McEwen draws a man. Takes it out very wide, or the hand pass put Barwick under the hammer. And then Barwick goes in and applies a great tackle. It spills to Johnson. Melbourne rebound, and Bailey again behind the wing.
Gee, that was a good kick by Johnson. Just a little chip under Bailey. Bailey's hand pass goes back to Johnson. He's run on well. He's put himself under pressure, but he does it well. He kicks it back towards the defensive side of centre. Spalding takes the mark. Melbourne have got the numbers. Newport in the centre. They're fiddling around a little, trying to keep possession of the football. Newport's kick to the opposite half-forward flank. It's punched away. Williams the first to recover. Turner gets the kick away. Now there's a chance for Healy. He gets the handball wide. Wilson. Here they are again. Williams falls over. Now he's after it again. He gathers. He can't get the ball away. He could be penalised. No, says umpire Castle. I'll take it and bounce it. All players looking a little weary. I think Dixie mentioned at half-time that they were pretty tired. And VFL Park certainly takes its toll in a pressure match. Melbourne lead by 8 points. Steins down to Newport. Newport's kick to the front of the square. Yeah, good mark. A top mark taken by Shane Morwood. He's played a fairly good game, Shane Morwood at full-back. 17 possessions. His short kick out towards half-back was marked by Christian.
midway through the last quarter. And in this term, Melbourne have kicked 1-2, Collingwood 1 straight. A low-scoring final term, very tight. Right, almost. Comes to McEwen. Hand pass is intercepted by Phoebe. The youngster from Tasmania playing his first season of VFL. Steins gets the hand pass away. It goes to Jackson. Nobody there for Melbourne, and plenty of time for Kerrison. Half-back flank for the Magpies. Up towards the wing, all Collingwood again. Drop short of right. He paddles inboard. McGuan. Don't know whether that was the best option. Away to Ryan, then to right. To half-forward. Big pack here. Johnson a spoil. Doesn't go out. Goes to McEwen. Pops it over the top. Barwick marks just outside 50. He can kick it a mile, Doug Barwick. Right to the goal square. Mullane's there. Oh, great spoil by Hughes. And eventually, I think it went out. No?
Well, it was pretty close. Sean White kept it in. Handball off to Wilson. Hughes comes away. Can the Demons mount something on this side of the ground? Yes, they can. Brilliant play by Stretch. He's got the field in front of him. He's going to have a player in support in Williams. Williams marks, can go into goal and have a shot. David Williams misses.
Oh, he's had a chance to seal this match for Melbourne. 3 behind since three-quarter time. Cloak's back on the ground, and that's a badly needed move.
9 points Melbourne lead by. Just 12 minutes remaining. Shane Moore to kick the ball in for Collingwood. Looking to keep possession, and they do with this kick because he finds Cloak just outside the 50-metre line. Cloak looking for a player upfield. It's Krasiska, and he takes the mark at half-back. Looking for the handball over the top to Brown, who's played a tremendous game. He's too quick and gets away from Lyon. Up towards half-forward. Here's a chance, Barwick. He tries to handball to himself. Phoebe there for Melbourne. A kick towards half-forward, a one-on-one. Good punch by Krasiska. Wilson trying hard to keep it in. Turner gets the handball away. Jackson there and Hawke for Collingwood. Hawke through the back to Brown. Brown's little kick into the centre. Shaw with a little bit of space now. Looking to try and to create something. Handball over the top. Oh, he puts Dacos under pressure, but he's up to it. Brilliant football. Shepherd by Cloak. Dacos short kick finds Banks.
This is a big ground. It's about 4 kicks from one end to the other, but if you go that way, it's about 24. Bailey over the back. Newport, number 34, burst through. Back to the centre. All Melbourne here. Taken by Brian Wilson. Open forward line. Williams leads. Morwood spoils. Great spoil by Shane Morwood from the ball out and half back to the Magpies.
Fantastic punch, wasn't it?
Yes, he really got onto that. That was a 2-wood down the middle, 250 metres.
I know all about it.
Do you? It's never happened to me. Only when watching Greg Moore.
11 minutes remaining, and the big fellows, Jostle, O'Dwyer and Cloak, Jackson, Ryan, McGuan. Oh, he's found a bit of space. Kerrison, Collingwood, out of defence. Tony Shaw, up towards half-forward. Spalding. Oh, he's certainly favouring his arm. Love it there. Oh, Banks, crash. Steins, he's hurt too, Steins. Ryan, now Banks again. Wide handball, Turner. Under pressure. Oh, good play by the big fellow O'Dwyer. Healy, kick around the corner towards full forward, mark to McGuan. McGuan at half-back. Left foot pass out wide. Mark taken out here by Brown. He's just knocked up getting the football, Gavin Brown. At half-back, he kicks a high ball. Up towards half-forward, Grinder's out of it. Great play by Hawke to Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw, not a bad kick out in front of Mullane. Mullane can't quite mark. He's held. And he'll take the free kick outside 50 metres. Looking to kick it to his team's advantage. Taylor in front, can't mark. Hawke's a chance. Handball over to Ryan. Ryan shoots and misses.
Oh, that was a bad miss by Matty Ryan. He had a bit of time to steady. Magnificent handball there by Paul Hawke. Jimmy Steins is okay after that clash in the centre.
It's still only 1 goal each in this last quarter. Just under 10 minutes remaining. Oh, what a mark by Brown. What a game he's played. 7 marks, 21 kicks, 7 hand passes. Banks in front, 30 metres out, and he's kicked it.
So, what's important to you right now?
What do you mean?
Well, what do you like doing? Do you like going out? Do you like restaurants?
Well, yes.
Because the easiest thing I can do right now is to write you a cheque for the pool. But it's your money. You have to pay the bank back every month, not me. You're the ones who might have to cut back on the restaurants.
Look, Jen and I are both back at work now. And to tell you the truth, the swimming pool's not that important.
It's just that it'll give us more time with the kids.
And that's much more important than restaurants.
At State Bank Victoria, the easiest thing we can ever do is give you a personal loan. The hard part is making sure the loan is right for you. State Bank Personal Loans. We never forget. It's your money.
Brand new car sure is nice. Mid-size comfort, small car price. Nissan Pulsar Vector. Power steering 1.8. Fuel injected 1.8. Four-wheel discs luxury. Nissan's 2-year warranty. Like I said, sure is nice. Mid-size comfort, small car price. Nissan Pulsar Vector. Full of great ideas.
This month's budget can do a cheap Holden Barina for only $30 a day from day one. Now that's cheap.
Guess who didn't check the footy fixtures in the Melbourne Big? The buying guide with useful information pages.
Monday, in the presence of the Duke and Duchess of Kent, a spectacular night of entertainment. The Queensland Day Royal Expo Concert, featuring John Denver, Normie Rowe, Eurogliders, Donny Osmond, Kim Durant, Cole Joy, Kamal, Mike McClelland, Judy Stone, Reg Lindsay, Geraldine Turner, Simon Gallagher, and host Diane Salento. A marvellous night of song and dance with Australia's finest entertainers. The Queensland Day Royal Expo Concert, presented by Westpac, 8:30 Monday on 7.
Melbourne lead by 2 points. Who can get the ball out? Newport. His kick is slightly ineffective. Wilson tired. Collingwood come clear up towards half forward. Good tidy up by Johnson. Forced to kick quickly with the left foot out towards half forward. And a tremendous mark taken by Shane Morwood. Gee, is he an improved player? Confidence personified. Off to McGuan. McGuan's got a bit of space. Looking for the pass, it's effective, it finds Cloak. Oh, Cloak drops a sitter. The big fellow's going up and down in the one spot. O'Dwyer's kick off the ground finds Wilson. Stretch on the wing. Good kick by Stretch finds Williams. Williams, 55, 60 metres out. Goes for the short pass, it's effective. Lyon kicks the ball well.
Could cost them the game.
Lyon cross to inside the 50-metre mark, and the mark taken by Healy.
Yeah, you called it, Drew.
Right, Drew, there.
It was a bad miss by David Cloak. There he is. He's contested well in the ruck, but a mistake at a vital moment, and now it's up on the Melbourne forward line with Healy. A chance to put Melbourne 8 points in front.
You like to have your money on him?
I'll back him to kick it.
Greg Healy, pressure kick, bad kick. Up and under, right on the goal line. No mark taken. Collingwood rush it through from behind. 3 points Melbourne lead by.
Kerrison kicks in for the Magpies. Too high for McGuan. Oh, he did well. He had his back to the ball there for a moment and came back into it to take the mark. One bounce too many, but he cleverly taps over the top to Hawke. He's done some great things in the last 10 minutes, Paul Hawke. Now to David Cloak. He takes this cleanly. Not great distance with the kick. Wide to McEwen, who dives and marks within kicking distance from McEwen. Pokes over the short pass. Matty Ryan in the forward pocket. Not far out, but don't like his angle.
He's on a very tight angle, Drew.
He'd be about 30 metres out from goal. He missed one from almost in front about 4 minutes ago. And a straight kick by the man who kicked 4 behinds in the last quarter earlier in the season against Hawthorn. A straight kick this time will put Collingwood in front. Haven't we had some finishes like this season? He's missed again. Ryan, 1 goal, 2 for the day. 2 points the difference, and we have 6.5 minutes left.
Well, that was a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it? The crowd just went silent. Hughes will kick the ball in for Melbourne. Just 6.5 minutes remaining. He's looking for O'Dwyer. He can't mark. Collingwood back into attack. Hawthorn keeps his footing well. Short pass. Wright takes the mark.
He's got a better chance.
Within kicking distance, Graham Wright.
Still a very tight angle. They're kicking from about 40 metres out.
Hasn't yet kicked the goal. Graham Wright punts for goal. Big high drop punt. Not bad, but just offline. You usually tell by the supporters there's a bit more noise if it's a goal. And now it's 1 point the difference. This is a little bit like Hawthorn Collingwood a few weeks ago.
Well, Wright was a bit of a chance then. He's kicked 24 goals in his 9 games this year. Just under 6 minutes left. Collingwood doing most of the attacking, but a chance for Melbourne here through Lyon. To Wilson at centre-half forward. He's got away from McGuan, but drops the mark. Well, McGuan shepherded off with a high one. Wilson back from 50, goes for goal and kicks it. The Collingwood fans yelling for a shepherding free kick.
And Brian Wilson's 4th goal to put Melbourne 7 points in front at the 22.5-minute mark. A vital goal for Melbourne. He's been a great player all day, Brian Wilson. Could have been a free kick, I thought. Here's the drop mark. Oh no, he didn't touch him, actually. Good decision by the umpire to allow that play to continue. And the kick from Wilson turned out to be an off break.
He put more spin on that than Ashley Mallett could.
I think Ashley Mallett would have been proud of it, Drew. 7 points Melbourne lead by. Back in the centre, O'Dwyer. They're coming again. Bailey, left foot kick high. Yates gathers, Turner misses. Yates' kick up towards the full forward position. Punch away. Now a race for the ball is on. Kerrison leads Spalding. He gets the hand pass away. Looking out wide for Krasiska. Krasiska on his wrong foot, and he has to take it over, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Well, right down to the last 5 minutes now. Melbourne lead by 7 points with just under 6 minutes remaining. Cloak and Steins. Cloak gets the tap out. Close to the line. Williams takes it over. Another boundary throw in.
Melbourne in this last quarter 2-4 to Collingwood's 2-3. So the Demons have stretched their 3/4 time lead of 6 points out to 7 points. Still time enough for Collingwood. They probably need 2 goals. Steins slips away a dubious looking hand pass. Finishes up with Bailey. Healy and Shaw, Tony Shaw wrestled him off delightfully then to Christian at halfback in plenty of space. Michael Christian goes long to half forward. Collingwood need to get a mark here. All Melbourne at ground level. Johnson, beautiful pass to Yates, who dives at full stretch and marks just above the floor. Graham Yates, Melbourne pretty keen to slow things down, no doubt. Stretch at full stretch. Well, we've got Wilson unmarked. Sorry, it's Newport. And Newport marks about 15 metres in the clear. Centering kick. They dash back there in defence. Oh, Jackson keeps it in play. Desperation for Collingwood. Turner, Kerrison, across the face of goal. Oh, chance here for Bailey. He's only got to beat Cloak. Cloak's got him. Good tackle. Ball out of play for a throw-in.
Well, time ticking away. Less than 4 minutes remaining now. And Melbourne, they've got the ball deep in their forward line. Johnny Northey on the phone. And anxious coaches. Dacos screams clear. Kick towards the wing. O'Dwyer. Oh, he didn't know what to do with that. He got it back there to Lovett. Lovett into the centre. Williams. Melbourne come forward again. Williams kick up towards half forward. No mark taken. Who's the crumb gatherer? Brown. Christian. Shane Morwood. Collingwood need to score from this thrust. Up to the wing, McEwen. Play on quickly. High, looping handball. Christian's under pressure. He's caught. Newport from Melbourne. He's caught with the football. A free kick's been picked out of it, and it'll go back to the Melbourne player in Graham Yates. You can quite see that one.
Gee, they're all dog-tired, aren't they? It's a very big arena. Collingwood have played here 5 times this year. This is Melbourne's first tilt at it. Yates up towards half-forward with a long kick. Spalding didn't attempt the mark. It goes to the back. Shaw is there. In he goes to Turner. Just over 2 minutes left. Collingwood need to kick a goal from this. Christian. Cloak. Dacos. Slipped slightly. Got the hand pass away. Krasiska to McGuan. The 2 youngsters who've done so well in the seniors this year. Back to Krasiska. Great combination. Wide. Taylor. And Brian Taylor could kick this. He'll be kicking from about, I'm sure Hughes is over the mark, he'll be kicking from about 47 metres.
Still a tough shot from there again, Drew.
Goes for the short pass. And Barwick goes to ground. It comes to Phoebe. It might be Collingwood's last hurrah. 1.5 minutes left.
Gee, I think I'd have had a shot if I was Taylor. Phoebe's kick out towards half-back. Bailey, good play. He met Krasiska, took him on and took the ball away up towards the forward pocket area. Greg Healy over the top. Wilson tackled by Turner. No, he's not. He slips the tackle. Greg Healy, short kick into the pocket. And it's effective because it'll go over the boundary line and waste just a few more precious seconds for the Demons. They lead by 7 points. 78 plays 71. And it's going right down to the time on period now. Only a matter of a couple of minutes left.
Less than that, 53 seconds.
Boundary throw in. Steins. Good punch away. Wilson, can he kick goal? 5. Punch for goal and puts it through.
5 goals straight to Brian Wilson in a match-winning performance. Been a great contributor to Melbourne. And now we've only got 31 seconds of play to go. Brian Wilson just sealed the match for Melbourne.
And here goes Brian Wilson for his goal. 5 for the match, 3 in the last quarter, and his statistics worth recounting. 10 marks, 17 kicks, 16 hand passes, 33 possessions for Brian Wilson. No wonder he's getting a rub down. The Demons have the game won. Kerrison out of the middle, less than half a minute to go. Jackson to half forward. It clears the pack, goes past Steins. Wilson's there again. Might get half a dozen. Steins virtually took it away from him. Not a bad kick by Steins. Oh, a clever mark by Morwood, right on the behind line. 11 seconds left.
Shane Morwood with the ball right on the full-back line for Collingwood. Out towards half-back. There's the siren. Melbourne have won.
Yes, the Demons can afford to laugh. The final scoreline showing Melbourne 12-12, 84, 13-point victors over Collingwood. Gallant in defeat, 10-11-71. Brian Wilson, the predominant goal kicker of the day down there at VFL Park. He finished with 5 goals. Jim Steins booted 3, whilst for Collingwood, their principal scorers were Peter Dacos and Dennis Banks, each contributing 2 goals. We've got plenty of action still to come on Saturday Night Replay. I hope you can stay with us.
When it comes to your insurance, there's a name you need to know. They're safe and sure and they care for you more than the SIO.
I've been insured with SIO for years. Not long ago, I had an accident, a bad one. The car was a writer. Boy, was I glad I had an SIO agreed value policy. Instead of just getting market value, which could have been a much lower figure, I got back the full sum insured from SIO with no hassles. So if you have an accident, big or small, it's great to know with SIO, you'll be well looked after.
At SIO, caravan insurance comes complete with a big discount of up to 34%.
Braun Morning Report.
What do men who shave daily think about Braun electric shavers? Excuse me, sir. Did you shave this morning? Well, of course I did. Would you like to try it again with this Braun shaver?
God, is he that bad?
What now? Yes. Well, sure. Feels okay. Let's check the results.
Well, that's fantastic.
When you think you've had a close shave, Braun shaves you closer.
Well, it works, doesn't it?
Fancy a night or two away from it all. Put it on Diners.
It's the annual review of NEC Computers, and it seems they're still the world's biggest manufacturer of integrated circuits. They're still one of the world's top 10 computer companies. And here to report on the Australian market is Mr. Okamura. Mr. Okamura.
Telephone for a Mr. Okamura?
NEC, Japan's most experienced computer company, now very much at home in Australia.
Trapped in a loveless marriage.
You will not see her again.
Tormented by obsession.
Stop loving me, I would die.
Jacqueline Bisset and Christopher Reeve in Tolstoy's classic Anna Karenina. Your premiere movie Sunday 8:30 on 7. Here are tonight's Tats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
Welcome back to Saturday Night Replay. Before we continue our 1988 action, let's relive some of the great highlights of days gone by in NEC's Footy Flashbacks.
Footy Flashbacks are proudly brought to you by NEC Computers, Communications and Home Entertainment.
Round 10, 1966, and Geelong champion Polly Farmer was in the thick of things. This duel would produce disastrous results. The big man reported for the first and only time in his distinguished career for striking Hawthorn's Des Dixon. He was later reprimanded. In this round of 1970, a thriller between Collingwood and St Kilda. The Maggies were down by 52 points at half-time, but in the last quarter kicked 7-7 to 1-1 and win by 7 points.
Collingwood back in front.
2 years on, add another couple of cliffhangers. Hawthorn home by just 3 points over Carlton.
Through comes Matthew, gets the push in the back, plays on quickly, runs into the goal square and puts it through.
And Essendon by merely 2 over Fitzroy.
He's going goal with this one, looks as though it could be online. Saying it's all right.
1976 now, and yet another example of why North Melbourne full forward Malcolm Blight will be remembered as one of the best of all times. He kicked 4 goals in the last quarter of the match against Carlton, 3 in time on, and the winning goal after the siren to get the Kangas home by 5 points.
Now Blight would have to kick this. Oh, he'd have to kick it 85, 90 metres. But he's going to have a kick, all right. It's not over yet. Not over yet. What drama here at Princes Park. Malcolm Blight, it's a big kick. It's a massive kick.
Round 10 of 1979 saw the first interstate game between North Melbourne and Hawthorn in Sydney. The Hawks won by 51 points in front of a crowd in excess of 31,000.
A goal.
4 years ago in this round, Simon Beasley stole the limelight. His mark and goal after a foolish pass across the goal mouth gave the Dogs the points by a whisker.
Beasley now from directly in front.
Footy Flashbacks were proudly brought to you by NEC Computers, Communications and Home Entertainment.
Just one of the regular features on Saturday Night Replay, NEC Footy Flashbacks, and how great it was to see that goal of Malcolm Blight's once again, an absolute boomer. But if you're at the MCG today, you would have seen one very similar to it from St Kilda's Nicky Winmar. Of course, all the action from the MCG is still to come. We'll take a break, be back with you shortly.
You saw it first on the grid at Adelaide. Now the exciting Nissan Pulsar Vector Triple S is at your Nissan dealers, ready for you to drive.
Nissan Pulsar Vector Triple S.
Performance that will make you glad you're behind the wheel. Style that tells you this one's special.
Nissan Pulsar Vector Triple S.
Not your normal kind of sedan. Nissan know-how, building the right cars for Australia.
We stood with you through the bad times, and we shared in the glad times where Australian through and through. We're FAI, car owners mutual, and we look after you. Yes, we've been proud to play a part in the growth of this great land. With insurance to depend on, we've lent a helping hand as we march into the future. Nation proud and strong, you can rely on FAI, marching right along. So for the best insurance cover, now's the time to fund your car, your life, your boat, your van, and the family home. Call FAI, car owners mutual, and we look after you.
Oceans of sun, a paradise found, decks of leisure, there's fun all around.
Make new friends, a top feeling, love each day. There's real meaning.
Escape winter. Share a cabin with 4 friends. You each save up to $400. See your travel agent now.
So there's this mad professor on a motorbike. Anyway, what is this? Chicken.
G'day. Smells great.
So the prof says, physics, old chap.
G'day again.
So this guy turns around. She's right, mate. And as he gets back on the bike...
Say no to drink driving.
Welcome back. It's time now to go to the offices of the Sunday Press. The sporting editor there, hard at work, is our own Scott Palmer. Scott, there was drama aplenty at the MCG today, and a lot of it surrounding St Kilda captain Danny Frawley.
Yes, Sandy, he's still lying in a darkened room down at the MCG, or he was until a few minutes ago, recovering from that little incident in the third quarter with Dermot Brereton. We asked both coaches about that incident, and all Baldock said was, I didn't see it, but it was the turning point of the game. Alan Joyce said, quote, Dermot played very well, that's all I'm saying. But it's sure to be the centre of discussion over the next few days, Sandy.
Well, it's interesting because our vision we're just looking at now, you can actually see Darryl Baldock had been talking to the umpires, so no doubt more of that in the next couple of days. Now, the Demons will be happy because financially, after today's performance, they're a little better off, are they not?
Yes, Sandy, apparently they took the 11-8 that was going and they collected 6 big ones, I believe, and they're going to celebrate tonight. Of course, one player who won't be is that man of the match, Brian Wilson, who's had to nick off to work and is guarding the fire brigade out at Tullamarine tonight.
Scott, we've just had a look at Collingwood and Melbourne. What did Lee Matthews have to say after that game?
Well, he expected the Magpies to run over Melbourne in the last 2 minutes. He said he saw something there that suggested so, but he said we just couldn't get the ball going on the ground. We lost it so many times, and he said we lost it by our own mistakes, and he just saw Melbourne take the ball away and crush what he thought would be a Collingwood win.
North Melbourne struggled today, but injury-wise, they came off pretty badly, particularly as far as young Crocker's concerned.
Yes, well, Darren Crocker's got a broken collarbone tonight. He's the second one because Melbourne's reserve player, Simon Eisschold, also has got a snapped collarbone, Sandy, so it's bad luck for those two boys. And, of course, Darren Harris of North Melbourne suffered a bad ankle today as well. John Kennedy, he said we just lacked the overhead power to compete today.
What about out at the Western Oval with Footscray and Carlton? What do the coaches think of that game?
Well, Robbie Walls, he just praised the work of his medium-sized players out there, the Johnsons, the Buckleys, the Bradleys and the Gleesons. And he said he just attacked all day today to beat Footscray, and that's what happened. Mickey Malthouse still can't decide which is the better side of the last two he's met, Hawthorn or Carlton, but he's met 2 hard ones in successive weeks.
In closing, Scotty, can we go back to VFL Park? And I believe the security setup was a success today.
It was an amazing setup, apparently. We saw about 100 security men all in the blue coats encircling the ground, and no one got on until they had to get on. And nothing happened out there. Of course, it was a marvellous game and a marvellous crowd. So that looks like the VFL plans have really worked, Sant.
Scotty, thanks for those reports, and we'll catch up with all the news in the Sunday Press tomorrow.
Thanks, mate.
Scott Palmer, sporting editor of the Sunday Press. Let's now continue our great action tonight as we journey to the MCG. There was a crowd in excess of 25,000 there for the clash between Hawthorn and St Kilda. Nip and tuck all day, although St Kilda did break away early in the game in the second quarter to a 23-point lead. By the end of the third quarter, Hawthorn had pegged back that margin to just 8 points, so the scene was set for a great final quarter.
St Kilda takes an 8-point lead into the final quarter in what's been a most exciting match so far. St Kilda's Russell Jeffrey in hospital with a neck injury. Their captain Danny Frawley on the sidelines with concussion, and now we believe that three-quarter time Dermot Brereton was informed by two umpires that he had been reported. This game has had the lot. The Hawks fighting back in the third quarter, cutting the margin to just 8 points. Rice, can St Kilda hold on? Russo. The Hawks need the first goal if they're going to come back. In towards Dunstall, fisted away by Elphinstone. Sheldon goes over the top and the ball goes over the line. Tremendous courage shown by players on both sides in this match today. It's been tough and hard, but a great game. Green leaves it for Buckenara. He's dangerous in front of goal. Hooks it back. Brereton plays on and goal. The Hawks trail by just 2 points.
Well, an easy goal there to Dermot Brereton. Getting away from his opponent, Ricky Nixon. You see there Nixon on screen there. You can't afford to let a player go like that, but a good kick by Buckenara to centre the ball. Didn't have a go for goal, but tried to open up the face of goal, and Brereton getting away from Nixon. This game reminiscent of 1971.
So we're back in the middle, set for a great finish. St Kilda by 2 points. One down by Dia, knocked out by Gotch. Gowers leads in the race, out towards the outer side wing. Plenty of time. Gowers comes away easily. Long kick towards half forward. In from the side, Langford, who was shifted to centre half at half time. Goes down towards the pocket. Sensing the danger, Sheldon. He's been reliable. Takes the relieving mark. Not a good kick. Bounces obligingly for Evans. A look of determination on his face as he runs it out. Corcomelis is running for him. Evans doesn't need any help. He storms up towards centre wing. Penetrating kick towards half forward. Carries Schwab and Winmar. Abbott claimed by Lockett. Ball jarred free. It's all Hawthorn. Schwab gets it across to Russo. Plenty of experience there. Russo towards half forward. Big leap from behind Langford. Couldn't hang on. This is Muller. Tries to get it across to Nixon. Nixon goes back battling. He's going to get a free kick. Quite right. Taken around the leg. Nixon at centre half back. Saints to the outer wing. Gotch is one of them. One bounce. Carries into wing. Pulls it back towards centre half forward, intended for Jones. Lowe comes in behind and takes the mark. Lowe at centre half forward. High up and under. Down towards Lockett. He edges his man out of the contest. Couldn't hang on. Dia. He's in all sorts of trouble, Dia. He's going to get a free kick down there. Lockett crashing into him.
Lockett's got to do all the work down there. The little fellows have got to put more pressure on those Hawthorn defenders.
And the lights have come on here at the MCG as Abbott gets it back. Tries to at least a Schwab. Kick clear, could have almost been in danger. Hauled out of the half-forward line. Langford can't take the mark. Muller.
Stupid free kick by Muller.
Free kick to Langford. Short. Plays on. Back to Langford. It came from Pritchard. High in towards full forward. And the mark taken by Big Bob Jones. Wide to Bradley Gotch, the rover. Bouncing his way across half-back. Spearing a pass in towards the centre. Gowers intercepts. Oh, Daniels taken high. And he'll be free kick.
Will he get up? Let's hope he does.
Great courage.
Well, they're down to 18 men. With Jeffries and also Frawley out of business for the remainder of the day. Dyer in towards the right half-forward flank. Fisted down. Rice with pace. The boundary line beats them. 2 points the margin, favouring St Kilda. Lowe is trying to palm with the one hand, was looking for Corcomelis.
spooned out towards Di Domenico. Bradley Gotch got a touch to it. Hall pushed into the football. Across to Mew. Spiralling a punt kick down towards Brereton. Can't take it with the one hand. Grant supplying the opposition, but Brereton gets clear. Is this going to give Hawthorn the lead? It is! Great goal to Brereton.
Now Dermot Brereton is just too strong for David Grant. You can see there Grant going over and remonstrating, but he is just too big and too strong, and St Kilda will have to get somebody else onto him if they're going to try and get into this game, because Dermot Brereton is an electrifying player who can really turn a game. You can see on behind screen Grant trying to upset Brereton.
What a game. Hawthorn by 4 points. They led by 13 at quarter time. They trailed by 23 at half time, by 8 at three-quarter time. Russo towards half forward goes the kick. Sheldon, a lot of courage, couldn't hang on. Some indecision there from the Hawks. Eventually it comes across the Hall, and Hall gets the goal after the hand pass from Langford. Hall's second.
Good play there by the Hawthorn side to get it so cleanly out of the centre, but also criticism can be laid at the St Kilda side for not manning up at that centre bounce. If you're going to play finals football, and this is what it is a finals type game, you've got to play man-to-man type football. Hawthorn got it out of the centre too easily, straight down the centre, and Hall, who has been a quiet player, second goal.
St Kilda with their season riding on the line now, trail by 10 points. It's turned around quickly for them. At one stage, after half-time, they led by 28. Demetrio out wide. Evans has the run of it. Good shepherd from Rice, boots it under open space. Foot race towards the boundary line. Collins will arrive first. Keeps it in. Eventually it trickles out. Boundary throw in. 16-8 the Hawks. They've come back like a good side. Alan Joyce has done well with the changes he put into place at half-time too. They've looked better since the half. Manning at close quarters to Burke. Buckenara stood his ground, couldn't hang on. Collins pushes it across the boundary line. Throw in upcoming.
Hawthorn by 10 points. Still plenty of time, however. Just under 20 minutes remaining. Lowe tries to do it from behind. Gow's kick partly smothered. Winmar has got to do something exciting shortly. Dyer, Daniels. Well, he's exciting this boy. Look at that! Let down with the kick. Lockett. Could this be a miraculous goal? Going across the face and one behind. Nine points the difference. And a crowd of 25,693 will leave this ground today knowing that they've seen a ripper game of football. Whitman on half-back. Drifting play towards half-forward. Langford, who's been shifted there, used the body trying to create a path. Hall got a shocking bounce. Jones tried to get it across to Muller. Finishes with Mew, who goes wider for Russo. He's got Schwab running, uses him well. Wide down towards Brereton. Great diving mark.
One senses that Hawthorn have got the smell of victory, and they're starting to apply a little bit more pressure on the ball.
He goes short. Dunstall.
And that's where Bob Jones should have been. Instead of walking dejectedly down to the goal square, should have placed himself in that hole that Dunstall led to.
Jason Dunstall, 3 goals all in the third quarter. This one will make it very hard for St Kilda. It's going to drop right in the square. Coming over the top. Sheldon, dot to Brereton, who goes?
Well, you can't say Dermot Brereton's good play. A fumble there by Ken Sheldon. And Dermot Brereton, 3 goals in this, the last quarter, has kicked 6, the high ball. Now watch Sheldon come in. The ball comes to ground. Sheldon coming in, took his eye off the ball, should have run in and at least claimed it to his chest, cannon into Brereton, and at least it would have halted play, maybe a ball up, but he surrendered the ball. An easy goal for Brereton.
I think it's safe to say Brereton is inspired out there, though. We think he was informed at three-quarter time that he's been reported. If that's the case, He really has lifted in the opening minutes of this final quarter. He's taken this game by the scruff of the neck. 17-8 Hawthorn. 13-17 St Kilda. Umpire Lawler to bounce it down. Hawthorn like a good side, storming back into it. Coming through strongly was Muller. Down goes Daniels. He gets up, but in the meantime Pritchard has it to Demetrio. The Hawks have gone up a notch. Off the hands of Brereton. He's claiming a free kick. It's forced through for a minor score. Well, they're waiting for the all clear. Has it been given? No, it's coming back. It's going to be a free kick.
Throwing the ball.
Evans taking the kick. No, it's coming up to Korkamielis. Well, I think that was the kick. Korkamielis cramps up as he kicks this ball towards half forward. Winmar couldn't hang on. Coughlin did well. Burke dives on top of it. Collins dives on top of him. And it will be balled up about 40 metres out from the Saints' attacking goal. They desperately need a goal now. The clock is their enemy. 16:20 remaining in the term. One down by Dia. Korkamielis has it. He falls over. He's claimed by 3 Hawks. Schwab emerges with the ball. Arms his way through the congestion. Here's Coughlin. Pushed off it by Green. Manning an opportunity. At close quarters to Daniels. He's up and running again. That's good to see. Muller going against the tide. Back comes Daniels over the top. Manning now. Spins out of trouble. Manning on the centre wicket area. Wobbles one down towards the forward line. Up comes Mew.
Chris Mew steady in defence. Out wide for Di Domenico. Hawthorn starting to steady things down, and as I say that, Di Domenico puts it out of bounds on the foot. Still time for St Kilda if they're good enough. Dia claim has a second grab at it, and eventually it finishes out of bounds on the outer side of the ground. So a throw in with Jones and Dia. Jones had front spot and wins it to Gotch. Pushes it round the line, but out of bounds on the full. So Chris Mew again. Game has dropped down a notch in pace on that outer side at the moment. Jones couldn't take it. A path, can it be created? No, it can't. But it will be a St Kilda free kick. Nixon handing the ball back. St Kilda desperately want the next goal, and they want it quickly. Winmar. We saw him kick a prodigious goal earlier in the match. He goes in towards half forward. Lockett uses the body.
A good contest between Abbott and Lockett. I thought Abbott might have the drop on Lockett on that occasion. Played him from 10 metres in front, then used his body, backed into him. Good play, Abbott, but Lockett just read it a little bit better and was in better position. You couldn't blame Abbott. He was in front on that occasion.
Lockett going for goal number 7. He had chances like this in the third quarter, was unable to take advantage of them. He kicks this time. He kicks truly.
So, what's important to you right now?
What do you mean?
Well, what do you like doing? Do you like going out? Do you like restaurants?
Well, yes.
Because the easiest thing I can do right now is to write you a cheque for the pool. But it's your money. You have to pay the bank back every month, not me. You're the ones who might have to cut back on the restaurants.
Look, Jen and I are both back at work now. And to tell the truth, the swimming pool's not that important.
It's just that it'll give us more time with the kids.
And that's much more important than restaurants.
At State Bank Victoria, the easiest thing we can ever do is give you a personal loan. The hard part is making sure the loan is right for you. State Bank Personal Loans. We never forget. It's your money.
This month's budget can do a cheap Holden Barina for only $30 a day from day one. Now that's cheap.
This is an independent torture test of 3 leading long pile woolen underblankets: the Wool Rest Orthorest, the Jason 2000 and the Invicta High Pile. After accelerating the long-term effects of normal use, only Invicta High Pile stayed High Pile. The Invicta High Pile stays High Pile, and it's fully machine washable too. Everything should feel this good. The Invicta High Pile underblanket is available at selected stores and leading bedding retailers.
Say no to drink driving.
If you need a locksmith, do what I do.
Use the Melbourne Big. It's much faster.
The Melbourne Big. The buying guide Melbournians are turning to.
When you fly to New York, there's always the chance you'll get stranded. Unless, of course, you fly Continental Airlines. That's because only Continental has the same plane one-stop service to the Big Apple. We guarantee you won't miss your connecting flight because the plane you depart on is the same plane you arrive on in New York.
(17-8) to 14-17. 9 points the difference. There's the bounce in the middle. One down by Jones. Knocked on by Lowe. Dwyer over the top. Winmar. 50 metres out from goal. Nicky Winmar is off target. It's a minor score. The margin is 8 points. But these Saints aren't done with yet. Here's Abbott. A worried man, and why not? Tony Lockett is no picnic. Broadcast side comes the kick. Low, reaching over the top.
Play on.
Mark, play on is the call. Coughlin worried out of it. Green tries to scramble it out. Spills across to Gotch, to Burke. Burke, a clever hand pass to Dwyer. Dwyer's off target. It spills out of bounds in the left full forward pocket.
Bad play by Stuart Lowe. He should have punched the ball back.
Just under 13 minutes remaining. 8 points the difference. Lockett with strength. Kicks over his shoulder. Into the square. Over the top it goes, and the mark is taken by Collins. Right on the last line of defence. Low again. Oh, a big fly, but can't take it. Dippy Domenico. Short to centre wing. Well done by Nixon. His opposition was Hall. Going to be a free kick to Nixon. Jenkins coming onto the ground for Hawthorn, and Andrew Demetrio leaving it. Nixon to half forward. Where are the high flyers for St Kilda? Not sighted. Coughlin clear. To Gotch. Can he get it through? He can't. And we'll see a ball up.
What an exciting game.
8 points the difference. Just under 12 minutes remaining. Low. Thumps it wide. Manning at the bottom of the pack, and another bounce. Ayres was pushed. Play allowed to go on. And now the advantage being paid. It was a Hawthorn free kick anyway. Oh, great mark, Tony Hall. Bob Jones just stood there, and I thought he was going to take it. Here comes Dunstall. No mark. He recovers, but Elphinston is there. Gets a hurried kick back towards the centre. Winmar does the shepherding. Comes off his boot. He claims it beautifully. Sneaks it round the corner for Rice. He can run on. Chipping towards Lockett in the pocket. Great play.
What a great pass there by Rice on the centre square. Lockett led out confidently. 13 marks, Tony Lockett.
And going now for goal number 8. A chance to make the margin just 2 points. Tony Lockett. The kick looks a beauty. Oh, what a goal! St Kilda back in business.
Well, he's responding to the pressure, Tony Lockett. He didn't in the third quarter, but he is now. That was a magnificent goal because of the angle and also the pressure. Well set up there by Rice, getting away from Abbott. And St Kilda now only 2 points behind with that goal from Lockett.
Against the odds, the Saints. Lockett with 8 goals. 10-18 remaining in the game. We're back in the middle. Dia out of the centre. Towards half forward goes the kick. Sheldon. Sheldon wants to play on. Oh, costly error. Claimed from behind by Brereton. Brereton sweeping hand pass out wide to Hall. Hall 35 metres out gets the goal. Oh dear.
Well, Kenny Sheldon can well hang his head. He has made 2 vital errors, one which led to a goal to Brereton earlier, and then he was really sucked into that there by Brereton. He wanted to play and he was just too slow, undecided, not concisive enough, and the mistake has resulted in a goal to Tony Hall.
The margin back to 8 points. Hall's 3rd goal, a timely one. 9:53 remains. One down again by Dia. Corcomelis. Can the Saints get another one? This is Daniels after the hand pass from Dwyer. Ball towards half forward. Lockett. What a game he's played. Gets around Abbott. No, he doesn't. He's claimed. Got the hand pass away. They battle after it. Manning runs into a dead end supplied out there by Collins, and the umpire will ball it up. So a bounce about 35 metres out from the Saints goal. 9:24 and counting down. The Saints, as we've said, desperate for a victory this afternoon. Daniels, socket off the ground by Russo. Gotch leads in the race close to the boundary line. Could almost be holding the ball. Collins was grabbed around the leg, surely. And the umpire decides he will ball it up.
Good decision by the umpire.
Ball it up.
It's on St Kilda's 50-metre attacking line. The margin is 8 points. Just under 9 minutes remaining. Still time. If they're good enough. Can Hawthorn hold them out? The Hawks have figured in some great finishes and they've been able to finish a game off. Rice, claimed by Dipier Domenico, perhaps too high. Yes, said the umpire. And he will take it just forward of centre. He's got Lockett back in the square, but he'll go shorter than that. Corcomelis has given away a free kick.
It's imperative now that players on both sides start and play in front if they want to win this game.
Green towards centre wing. Great one-hander taken by Hall. Well, he's come alight after a very quiet start. Short into the middle to Mew. Plays on. Oh, great play. Widmar, can he pick the football up? Yes, he can. To half forward, there's no one at home. And the mark is taken by Lowe. He's got Lockett in the square. Elects to go shorter to Gotch.
Well, he had 2 options there, Stuart Lowe. He picked the shorter of the 2.
It was clever, wasn't it?
Bradley Gotch.
He saw the man peel off Gotch to run to Lockett. That was clever footy.
I thought Greg Deere might have just got there.
Gotch directly in front. What an important kick. The drop punt is on its way. Straight through the middle. 2 points to none.
The Australian family holiday. Even better with a family car you can rely on. Nissan Pintara. Pintara easily completed the Nissan 600,000k Enduro, and it's backed by Nissan's 2-year warranty, which makes Nissan Pintara the ideal 4-cylinder Australian family car.
That's what my dad says, Mr. Thompson.
That's right, mate. Nissan, building the right cars for Australia.
Northern Electronics, professionals in quality hi-fi. Double your sound with a second pair of quality loudspeakers free. This week, purchase any hi-fi system on floor display and Northern Electronics will give you an extra pair of quality high-fidelity loudspeakers absolutely free. An exclusive Northern Electronics speaker offer. Double your sound with a second pair of quality loudspeakers free. Only at Northern Electronics, 146 Gaffney Street, Coburg and 246 Burke Street, City.
I'll take you to places that you've never been. I'll show you the world. I'll share in your dreams. 'Cause I know the feelings that you're going through. I'm an Australian like you. And when the time comes to turn homewards again, I'll be there waiting like an old friend. And you'll realize something that I've always known. I still call Australia
When you give up smoking, some situations may seem a lot harder than others. Pressure at work, at home, pressure from other people, or when just relaxing. Anticipate the times you feel the need for a cigarette and you're ready to beat it. Call the Quit line. You'll gain a lot more than you'll give up.
2 points the difference. Back in the middle. The Saints trail. Corkamilis almost threw it across to Jones. Socket off the ground by Russo. Picked up by Burke. Around the corner it comes to Rice. Rice storming down towards half forward. He's within range. Rice, a long kick. It's off to the left-hand side. 1 point the difference.
What a terrific hit out there by Bob Jones, because he hasn't got too many today, and when they needed a hit out, he got up over Deer.
Yes, chips in short, it'll come back. The umpire was still waving the flag. That's his job. And he'll get it done and they won't play until he's finished. Here's Ayres, kicking towards the outer side. Knocked on intelligently by Dwyer. Dwyer first back, gathers the ball, sends it down towards half forward. Coughlin is up. Schwab, great contest. Coughlin to get the free.
Got a free kick or a mark?
Either one, he's got the ball.
As long as he doesn't hand pass.
Good point. 115 to 116. We welcome viewers around Australia for this thriller at the Melbourne Cricket Ground as the Saints are coming back at the Hawks. After the Hawks pulled them back. Long kick down towards full forward. Back into the air. Strong mark taken in front by Abbott. The Hawks led by 13 points at quarter time, trailed by 23 at half time, 8 at three-quarter time. The margin now is solitary point.
The kick by Ayres is wide to the half-back line. Rice is taken over the line. Push, said the umpire. And St Kilda fans delirious. This game has had absolutely everything. We've got just over 5.5 minutes remaining. Dixon claim. Tries to get the handpass out, does so to Gower. He goes long. Brereton and Brad. Brereton has had the better of him. Oh, he's pushed him in the back. The umpires let play go on. He was well behind. Trying to get it out was Whitman. He does so to Green. Green can goal from here. He shoots. He's kicked it.
Well, Russell Green, his first goal, all through the work of Whitman. Bad luck there by Grant. He got in front, used his strength to get in front of Brereton. I thought it could have been a push in the back. Bob Jones desperately tried to get after the ball, but Whitman was there, got the hand pass out to the unattended Green, and Hawthorn's 19th goal, a 7-point advantage.
Seven points the difference. Still time for St Kilda if Gotch can trap it. He pushes the ball along in front. The pressure's intense. He's still going. Now to ground he goes. And he's been picked.
Umpire a bit hard there.
Andrew Collins, the recipient. 4 3/4 minutes remaining. Plenty of flyers. Waiting down was Evans. So too Green. Claim. Jones falls over the football. Langford to Brereton. Wider to Buckenara. And he likes kicking towards goal here. But he's gone right across the face. And just sneaking it through for one behind.
The experience of Hawthorn there, shown by Brereton, took his time and found Buckenara running past.
Elphinstone towards Dyer. He's surrounded by Hawthorn jumpers. Gets it out to Daniel, back to Dyer, is good football. Here's a chance for Burke. Gets his kick just in time. Over the head of Gotch, however, and the mark is taken by Collins at half-back.
Great marks.
Deep in his own defensive area. Tony Lockett's been a star with 8 goals. We believe Dermot Brereton's on report. He's kicked 6 for Hawthorn. This is Muller. Langford brilliantly in front, but Muller wins it back. This is Lowe, surrounded by Hawks. Mew, ample time. Chris Mew measures it nicely. Russo's away. 3.5 minutes remaining. Back goes Dixon, almost held without it. Down goes Evans. Play goes on. Jones. There's going to be a free kick. It's going Hawthorn's way. It'll be taken by Dixon. So maybe now the Hawks have weathered the storm like a good side, but St Kilda have lost no admirers this afternoon, despite the fact they may well lose the 4 points. Here's Dixon. I'd suggest too far out to score. Dunstall comes on a lead. He's kicked 3 goals. Dixon goes for distance. Right down towards full forward. He's off to the right-hand side, through for a minor score. 19-10 to 16-19. Elphinston into the path of Sheldon. Awkward.
Well done.
Brereton does brilliantly. 50 metres out. Tips it in short. Buckenara the mark.
What great play there by Dermot Brereton. You don't see too many stars do what Brereton did then. He realised the situation hopeless, but he still put in, and the ball came his way, and look how he's finished it off.
Buckenara a chance to just about seal this game for Hawthorn. The margin at the moment is 9 points. Buckenara, oh, it's a very wide kick, and will just sneak in for one behind. So St Kilda need 2 goals. They've got just over 2 minutes to get them. Elphinstone to the outer side of the ground. Lower's come a long way down over the back. The umpire's called play on. They all stop for a moment. Dixon gets it out to Green. Hawthorn doing all the attacking. Buckenara!
Will he kick a goal? He's kicked 4 points today, yet to kick a goal.
.45-degree angle. It would be a fitting reward for a great mark. Buckenara shoots. He's goal.
Well, Buckenara left unattended there, and his mark looked a little bit better than what it actually was, because all other players were on the ground, not one player off the ground. You can see Brereton there wrestling, kept Grant at bay. And Buckenara the easiest of marks, but shouldn't have left by himself. Gary Buckenara, 1 goal, 1 goal for.
So Hawthorn will win this game. They lead by 16 points. No measure really of the performance from the Saints, who had their chances today. A spate of missed opportunities in the 3rd quarter cost them dearly. Gotch still battling. Hand pass comes out from Manning, taken by Daniels. Dwyer, sweeping hand pass, bounces obligingly for Gotch. He runs down towards half forward. There's that man again, Lockett on a lead. He's got 8 this afternoon so far. The chance to pull it back, albeit belatedly. 44 seconds and counting down. Marvellous game of football this. A credit to players of both sides. There will be controversy come out of the game as well. Here's Lockett. What's he done with it? He's got the goal. 9 to Tony Lockett with 23 seconds remaining.
Tony Lockett, 2 goals in the first quarter, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and so far 3 in the fourth.
Again, well set up there by Bradley Gotch. Bradley Gotch had 3 players breathing down his neck, yet took his time. An accurate pass to Tony Lockett.
Back in the centre, 10 points the margin. Jones has been a trier all day, but it's Russell Green who takes it out of the middle. Buckenara plays on. Chips one in towards Dunstall. This could be the last kick of the day. Jason Dunstall, who was well held in the first half, kicked 3 goals in the third quarter. There's the siren. Hawthorn has won the match. The question is, by how much? Dunstall going for goal number 4. He's finished it off with a goal. Yes, a great game of football, and Hawthorn eventually running out 16-point winners. The main goal kickers in the match for Hawthorn, Dermot Brereton finished with 6, but was reported. Jason Dunstall 4 after getting only 1 touch in the first half. And Hall booted 3 for Hawthorn. Predominant kickers for St Kilda, Tony Lockett 9, Brad Gotch 3, and Nicky Winmar also contributed 3. We'll take a break. More on Saturday Night Replay when we return.
The new 1.8 Nissan Exa. Is it a Targa? Is it a coupe? Or is it a cabrio? Absolutely. The new 1.8 Nissan Exa. It's out of the ordinary and out of sight. Nissan know-how. Building the right cars for Australia.
Who can you bank on in your future years? We'll show you a life beyond your career. Who can you bank on? Who'll help you to see that there's more to the world than just you and me? Who can you bank on to keep working for you? Because your salary stops, but the bills never do. Who can you bank on when the kids have all gone? Who'll help you enjoy the time of your own? Who can you bank on? Who can you bank on? Who can you trust? Who can you trust? You can bank on Westpac. You can bank on us.
These days, there's not much to choose between televisions. Most have a realistic picture. Most have realistic sound. But a Samsung television has a realistic price too. Samsung, for people with more sense than money.
Hinch at 7.
Hollywood's Child, the sad but true story of Lana Turner's daughter, Cheryl Crane. When she was 14, she stabbed her mother's lover, Johnny Stompanato.
It was almost as if he walked onto the knife.
Hollywood's most lurid scandal. Next, Hinch at 7.
How will Blanche react to a man of the cloth?
I'm a Baptist, and you can't forgive us Baptists.
The Golden Girls plus Kate Nally next on 7.
2 other matches were played in Melbourne today. Let's check the highlights of those games now.
At the Oval this afternoon, the Bulldogs were certainly the underdogs against the reigning Premier Carlton, and despite throwing everything at the Blues, Footscray found it hard to hold them out. Carlton's teamwork was very much to the fore. Mackenzie to Hunter to Gleeson was great stuff, and the Blues led at the first change by 13 points. But the Scrays fought back hard in the second term. Darren Collins took all 3 chances to kick this brilliant individual goal, and Footscray took the half-time lead by less than a kick. It was, in fact, this wonderful left-foot snap from Tony McGuinness which sent the Bulldogs into the long break in front. But the Blues were just too classy after half-time. 6 goals in the third quarter and 4 more in the last saw them sail to a convincing 21-point win. Princes Park, the Lions came out blazing against North, and Ross Lyon's goal in the first minute signalled a barrage. Darren Harris was about the only shining light for the Roos in the early stages. But the Roys had all the answers, and young Alistair Lynch was proving a dangerous forward. While Lynch was busy threading through some fine goals, North's woes continued as Darren Harris was carried off with an ankle injury. Lynch soared again, and so did Fitzroy, leading by 47 points at half-time. But 8 goals in the third quarter brought North back to within striking distance. Play like this from Sean Smith saw the Roos momentarily hit the lead. But the Roys steadied, Richard Osborne finishing with 8 goals again, and at the siren, Fitzroy was the victor by 33 points.
Today's game is a part of the Elders IXL 1988 VFL Premiership season.
Yes, Carlton and Fitzroy winning the remaining 2 games played today. The 5 at the moment sees Carlton on top on percentage ahead of Hawthorn, Melbourne. Then comes Collingwood and the Bombers making up the 5, but things could change tomorrow because the Bears will play host to Geelong while the West Coast